before we start this episode of WAM, I do want to have a special announcement here. In the past, in previous episodes, I have kind of, ragged on the United Kingdom, across the pond. And I just want to say, after recently going over some new data, I've discovered they're actually real people there. They're real WAM listeners. A solid 8% of WAM listeners are in the UK. So I want to say to everyone now that I've officially turned a new leaf and will be eating bean toast every morning.
Okay, that's a bit much.
What do you
Maybe
mean?
bean toast every morning. Have you had bean toast before?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. Welcome to WAM.
Welcome to WAM.
So episode 21, we watched Good Burger 2 came out this month on November 22nd. We watched it day after release, or a few days after release.
Yeah.
With the Good Burger meal alongside it that was from Arby's, which was surprisingly good.
I really enjoyed it. Wagyu burgers are pretty good. And I like their milkshake a lot. We only had it the second time. We did have the Good Burger 2 meal twice.
It was really good. So the original Good Burger released in 1997.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
How long is that? 26 years later, we have Good Burger 2.
Yes.
That's pretty scary to think about. This movie was it was just fan service and nostalgia kind of thing, but it was self-aware, I think.
I mean, I'd say so. I wouldn't even say it's self-aware. It's just unfaltering.
I guess in that I think the writers were self-aware, not that the movie is necessarily. They knew what they were making.
They went into this and they weren't like, guys, this has to be like a Logan kind of revival.
No, they weren't like, all right, now I really just don't think the shots are getting the emotion we want in this scene. We just really got to switch them around. But that being said, this was a really fun movie for the majority of it, and as much as it was just that, like, whatever silly fan service, oh my god, this character's back, woo! Like, it was cool, it was funny. They did it well, and majority of the jokes landed, and they did pretty good.
No, I think this movie was incredible, mostly in the aspect of it didn't seem like there was anything left from the first movie that didn't translate into this one. Not as in, oh, we finally got to see the end of this storyline, but it felt like a real sequel. Like if this movie came out, let's say 5 years after, I feel like it would still make sense.
I think it makes sense as in like the bare bones story, but it's not I wouldn't call this I'd call this a spiritual successor. Like, I don't.
What? What does
Not,
that mean?
Maybe not spiritual successor, but like I wouldn't call this a Good Burger 2. Maybe like Good Burger Remastered kind of deal.
It's the second movie.
What I know, but like what are we really doing that's different here? It's the same bad guy but woman and then AI bot. And it's the same plan, but just
okay, yeah, but that means that every James Bond movie is a remaster.
I'm not going to disagree with you either.
Okay. So if it's the same plot, sort of, with the same characters, then that makes a movie a remaster.
I'd say, yeah, I'd call this a remaster. I don't think it was good enough and didn't do enough new stuff with the Good Burger cast.
Well,
like
they're going to space in the third one, so
they're going to space. He said it. They have to. I think this one they did it really fun and they did the best thing they could have done. But I think if they actually sat down and really tried to make like a Good Burger 1 sequel, it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have like gotten made. And the original movie has a lot of character that kind of gets muddied around in this movie because it is just so zany, silly constantly. Like compared to Good Burger 1, this movie's like turned up to 11 with like just the goofy Ed bits like all the time.
I'm really surprised how far in depth they went with it. Even at the beginning of the movie, it starts with like a singing montage of Ed opening up the store with like talking burgers and shakes around him. And like me and you, this was, by the way, this was one of the first times we ever got to watch a movie together again since I had gone off to Austin.
Yeah,
I was
for a
back
while.
in town to watch this. and we were just looking at each other like, no shot, this is how they're starting it. We just forgot like how fun Good Burger is, and I'll agree it was even more energy in this. I think if you're gonna do a Good Burger 2, if you have lower energy, you've lost. So I think this is the only option they really could have gone to.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I mean, with all that being said, this movie was so fun. It was such a good movie to watch. Like, it was so
uh,
silly.
Ed's the
Um,
best. It also helps that you could tell how old Ed is now. Like he's
yeah,
for sure in his 40s,
you
and
can
you're
see it.
just yeah,
Yeah. But man, that kid, his son, Ed Jr., Ed
perfect.
2, really good.
Oh my gosh, he's so
Really
good.
good, like, the cadence and everything, the delivery, it was just, like, solid. I was really surprised. I thought I was gonna hate him as soon as I saw his face.
I think I think one of the best things to know about this is there's no way really to mess up Ed because of how endearing he is. And then like but to be fair, there's so many different Eds in this movie. We'll get into that later. There's a lot of Eds,
A lot
but
of
it's
Eds.
surprising that Ed Jr. sort of stands out as like one of the best ones.
Mhm. I mean, there's a whole this movie's a lot more focused on do you think it's a lot more focused on Ed, I guess? I mean, I guess not any more than it was the last one, because the
I
last one, we saw his house and, like, all
mhm.
that. So and we were chilling on with the roof.
I think plot wise, we're still following Dex, and it's always like the okay, here's the real plot, and then here's the zany guy that we really want to see.
Yeah, here's a
Um,
silly one.
which is it's a buddy movie dynamic that's around
Yeah,
everywhere. Where okay, here's the one who actually has a goal, and here's the clumsy guy who's going to stop him.
and this is Ed.
I think Ed is becoming more of a mascot in this movie, and he's more prominent as a mascot, but it still relies on Dex. It's sort of like the Gru minion thing.
I don't like how, um, Dex came back after all this time to see his best friend Ed, and he immediately goes back to using him.
I
Like,
mean,
that we
I
did this was
mean,
our character arc in the first movie. We had 6 years to get over this, and you did it again,
but
and
he
he didn't
did
even
learn.
realize.
He
He
did
didn't even
learn
know
to
this
not do it
time.
this time.
Well, he started to this time because Ed's like, "I got all the money I need," and then he literally does a cha-ching, but they just don't give him the sound effects.
No, I mean, he definitely goes through the exact same character arc in this one. I do think the character arc is given at least a good reasoning because we see him in his new life. He's become an entrepreneur, um, who's trying to make a name for himself, um, and now he's trying to get Ed to sort of give him money so that he can continue with that after he burnt down his entire house in front of Mark Cuban.
He did do that. Yeah, God, this movie was really packed with cameos, and it was really funny. Like whenever just someone would show up for a minute, and we would just both be like jaw dropped, like staring at like Andy Samberg singing to us. It was pretty amazing.
First scene, we had Pete Davidson yelling in Ed's face.
Immediately, the very first shot is Pete Davidson screaming, and that's really good.
um, I the entrepreneur bit makes it seem a little less um what am I trying to
Genuine.
say? Not less genuine, less greedy, I'll say, because this is at least how I interpret it. It's not necessarily I need money because I want to spend it like a high schooler kid did when he first did it. It seems more like I need to live up to my promise. I need to reach my full potential. That's how I feel when it takes the entrepreneur route.
He was trying to pitch them ice that never melts,
And then,
and you're saying he wasn't trying to scam them. It's not my fault that Ed
okay,
Jr. could do it by pulling it out of his ass or whatever he did.
he's
That's totally where that ice came from.
that's how it hardened so it wouldn't melt.
He just it's like a diamond. He puts a piece of coal in his ass and he just clenches and it pops out like that. It's just cold from all the pressure.
Where do you think Ed sauce comes from, man?
I want to let everyone know we had an extensive, a good 2-3 minute thought about making an Ed sauce cum bit for the intro for this episode. We strayed from it, but I just still want you to know about it.
I got it
Anyway,
in though.
yeah, well, Ed gets it in a lot. He has 10 kids,
He had so many kids, and they were all dressed in Good Burger uniform, all
and
with the same haircut.
we didn't meet the wife. I don't know who she is.
No, we met the wife.
Barely.
It was a random lady, but
It
that's
was a random
okay.
lady, and she's like, "Hey guys," it was a like Roxanne walks out, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's Roxanne," and then it's not Roxanne,
Yeah,
and then I'm
she's a
disappointed with this random woman I know nothing about and never
well,
will.
she seems happy. Sometimes that happens. You'll meet up with friends from a long time ago.
I mean, we don't know her life.
Oh,
The character, the audience doesn't know who she is. It's just a random woman, and he's like, "I'm married to her now." It's
the
like, oh,
third
okay.
the third movie is gonna have them fighting each other like in Marriage Story.
The third movie, it's actually Ed 2 has just learned about gun control, and he's really mad.
Whoa, Dad! Why are they stopping my individual freedoms?
Don't tread on me, man. Dude. Oh.
I would have open carry with an Ed sauce cannon.
So how do we feel about the villain? The villain of this movie was the little sister of Kurt from the first movie, who was the owner of
Yes.
Mondo Burger, tried to buy out Good Burger and take them down. In this movie, the villain is tricking Good Burger into like signing themselves over and then just mass producing Good Burgers around the world with an AI robot Eds.
Yeah. I think I really liked our first villain better. Because
Mhm.
there are two villains in this. One just ends up being the henchman for the other lady. Um, but he had a lot of energy to him. He was really fun. When you get to Mrs. Mega Goodburger, that's what the name of the business is, so I'm just gonna call it her that. I forgot her name.
Good Burger 2 lady?
Yeah. Is that a better name?
Kurt's sister?
Kurt's sister. Okay. Um
Cat. Cat.
Cat. Yes, it was Cat. Cat is okay. I think her plan and just the overall setting she's in helps her a lot because we don't need to see her face a lot. I mean, she got slimed at the end, and I think that adds a lot, especially Nickelodeon points.
Yeah, I definitely think it checks a lot of kink boxes for some people, but I don't really think that the
Why would you?
villain
I didn't
what
mean that.
what do you mean?
That's not what I meant.
I'm just talking about when your rope gets caught in a knot. Um, so what like the villain, I think she could have been fine and I wasn't upset about the whole AI thing. I just didn't want it to be directly tied to Kurt. That
Mm.
felt kind of lazy. It's like, "Oh, I'm Kurt, but again." The sequel, and it's like, all right, I wouldn't have been mad about it, but you didn't have to draw it out like I'm a baby.
Yeah, I think this works if you see that like we have the henchman who serves mostly just as a corporate villain, and then we have this lady which serves more as a revenge villain. It
Yeah,
sort of plays off of both of them okay enough for me. Um, Not only that, but I think she's just like she has like a horrifying face when she stretches it far, and like you could tell that she sort of is like just one of those characters where it's like I'm evil because I smile too big, and she might be the best one to do it.
she's evil because she only cares about herself, kind of thing, and then she's like, I did it. I mean, we did it. Like at the end when she opens the Good Burgers, but like,
Wow, I wonder if that has any symbolism about Dex's character.
huh?
Huh.
But like, I don't really know how I feel about this movie because at the end of the day, I'm happy there's a Good Burger too, right? But
Mhm.
I wanted a proper sequel that was like good. Like people would watch this movie and go, "Dude, Good Burger 2 is like solid." And like I'm not saying this is bad, but it's not cinema. You know what I'm saying? Now Good
Fuck
Burger
you.
1, that's cinema. You got to shimmy up the straw. All right? We went
I
to the insane asylum. We went into Mondo Burger. All right? We went all over the place. We fed a stray dog a burger. He didn't want it. It was a Jack Russell Terrier. Right? Where did we go in this? Good Burger, Ed's house, the other burger
Tokyo.
place. Is that where they went for
They
the
they went to Tokyo and Dallas and England.
Oh, they did. No, you're right. No, we
Yeah.
didn't go. We just saw video clips.
I mean that is true, but we know events happened in Tokyo, England and Dallas.
Dude, Tokyo, England sounds crazy. Nolan, I'm gonna give you 3 guesses to tell me what production companies made this movie. You gotta guess 2 of the 3.
Panavision was one of them.
No.
I saw it in the credits. They were
I'm
the film
looking
rental
at
crew.
Wikipedia.
Paramount.
No.
What? We saw it on Paramount
It
Plus.
was distributed by Paramount.
God. A24.
God, you suck. Okay, Nickelodeon, idiot. The second one, you're gonna love this. Awesomeness Films. They made
Oh,
this.
yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Yeah, they're great.
And then Artists for Artists. I can't find the budget for it.
I'm gonna guess the budget would be about $20 million.
Maybe. I don't know.
That was about the budget of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, one thing that we both said during this movie is that the set design and the cinematography felt a lot like a Nickelodeon TV show specifically.
Mmm.
And that was because I remember I said because the depth of field was really shallow and you only ever saw like the characters and there really wasn't a lot of background whenever people were talking and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then what else was there?
Well, I think it felt a lot like a Nickelodeon movie, but when I think about a Nickelodeon TV show, I'm almost exclusively thinking about like the on stage setup. And when I think of the on stage setup, I'm thinking a pretty wide depth of field, just because like the camera angles they have, they always show the background. But it's a very obvious digital Nickelodeon movie in which all the colors are popping on screen.
Hmm.
The depth of field is very shallow, so it's really just okay. We're gonna focus on this, and then the background's gonna be like at a half blur. Um,
Yeah, that bothered me a lot.
and then it's
I don't like when movies do the half blur. It bothers me.
I'm
Unless it's
doing
like you're doing something or like
yeah.
there's emphasis, I don't like it all the time.
I'm gonna be real. I'm doing a half blur movie right now. It's annoying. What else sort of makes it feel like a Nickelodeon movie? Oh, we said this. There's no wides.
Yeah,
Almost everything's at a medium.
yeah, there was what wide shots there were, they were very lackluster. This
Yeah.
whole movie felt like they were confined to a smaller set or like area to work in, and they
hmm
just kind of had to work with that.
I think that's fair. This seems like a movie that maybe had limitations. You don't notice it at first, and I think we make this shit, so we understand like our brains are going to sort of analyze it more. I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
watching this going, man, it seems very obvious that they had a very small set.
Yeah, I mean, we sit down and we're trying to fucking pick apart shit, so like whatever. We're dweebs, but like I think this movie did being uh, that we're seeing it might have been limited in some ways. I think they did very well with what they had.
Yeah, I'll agree. And I think this movie does something that a lot of legacy sequels cannot get right.
Hmm. What?
It does a relevant and intriguing portrayal of a new issue. Because we have this big trend nowadays where we're talking about, oh, let's make this the sequel movie, and the problem's going to be technology. The problem's going to be AI. It's going to be the
Yeah.
metaverse.
Phone,
This
social media, whatever, blah, blah.
this is the only one that did it good, okay, at least. I liked how it did it because it's talking specifically about automation of fast food work, which is an actual issue that's like actually happening. Not only that, it's very fun to see it happening because the way they automate the workplace is they just make a ton of animatronic eds that make you your burger, and like when they malfunction it's really funny. It's just
Mhm.
incredibly fun how they portrayed it. Compare this to like the new Space Jam movie that did it horribly.
I'm gonna be real, didn't watch that, but um,
I might be
I
the only one who did.
that's tough. I know this movie. I felt I wasn't mad about the whole like AI whatever
Yeah, yeah.
machines doing workforce thing, but I think one thing that they did differently from a lot of movies that'll do that and then do it wrong is that they did the whole AI thing, but there wasn't like a bunch of like, oh, quirky robots being quirky or like the most robotic thing we got from the Edbots were an Ed started shooting lasers in one scene, and the most it did was make mustard explode. And that was it. There was nothing else. There was no zappy. There's no like get electrocuted. He farts. It like I don't,
Yeah.
it was good. It was well done. They didn't drown you in it.
Yeah, I think it's very held back, which really helped it.
Mhm. It
Um
wasn't the focus. It was just what they chose.
Yeah.
Um,
How did you
yeah.
feel about Dex's performance? We were talking about
Mm,
this
Dex totally phoned it in on this, man.
because Ed was giving his all, and a lot of people were
Mhm.
giving their all in this.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think, the whole cast did great. Everyone, totally brought their A game and brought that character
mhm,
here, even down to, the fat lady that came in with a really complicated order, and, like, she had that whole shtick still there and everything, it was great,
mhm,
but then the main character, Dex, just felt like he didn't wanna be there, like, all the lines felt phoned in, it felt like
mhm.
an SNL episode, it was,
Yeah.
like, so low quality, and it was just disappointing because you know this actor can act and has the ability to. He just doesn't give a shit about this movie, it feels like.
I
Like, what the fuck?
This
Good
is
Burger.
it sort of seems like he treats, acting as if it's a job, not a passion. Good
Mhm,
for him if that's the case. He's been able to get a good amount of money from it, I'm sure, being on SNL. But at the same time, it sort of blows just because of how much these other actors are working. Like when you see these creepy twins or you see the really young manager, they're giving such a like interesting performance. And obviously, how this series is set up or how this franchise is set up is everyone's a wacky, weird character except for Dex, who just reacts to it.
yeah, who just goes, "God, you're fucking weird," every time he sees anyone.
But if you're going to react to it, then I think you should have a better performance than that just happened. I think you should like portray yourself as more human
Mhm.
comparatively.
In the
Um,
in Good Burger 1, we saw Dex, like, when he's sitting at the table with fucking Ed. Ed's, like, eating fucking putting blueberries in his nose, blueberry nose, like, "Blibbity blibbity blibbity blibbity," um like, he's sitting there and he, like, smacks the stuff out of Ed's hand. He's like, "Come on, man," like, real loud. In this
yeah.
movie, he'd just be like, "Hey, come on, Ed, let's calm down." And I get it's supposed to be like "Oh, they know each other, they're buddies, they're cool," but that doesn't work when you're still trying to make the same character from the first movie, which is just a normal guy who's kind of, like, uncomfortable and doesn't like the people he's around, and at the end,
Mhm.
he's cool with them. And so we just have to go through that whole arc with him again,
Mhm.
and so I can understand if him as an actor is kind of upset that he doesn't have more of the serious roles, because I can totally see someone doing comedy as long as he has wanting to do something more serious and be taken seriously, and no one's gonna give him that in because of how long he's been doing this.
Mm.
And then getting a call to Good Burger 2 and not getting a call to anything else, I'm sure probably hurts a little bit, and so I can understand why he'd be upset, but this isn't helping him at all. If anything, it
Yeah.
only, like, it only hurts his brand and the brand of the movies, and they're already making a 3rd.
Yeah, they
Is it
announced they're
coming?
making a third movie.
Is it currently filming?
Um,
Or is it just in production? They're
it's
like,
in production.
okay, so
It's
it's
probably in
yeah,
the writing process. Uh,
they're going to
Param
space.
That I mean, in the credits of this movie, there's a deleted scene where the actor for Ed, who looks phenomenal, by the way,
He looks the
when he's
same, dude.
off, he does not look the same.
What do you mean?
He has like a goatee facial hair. He has like really well kept hair. He's doing like a smothering face or
Ed?
smoldering. Yeah, Ed.
He doesn't have a goatee,
I thought he did when I looked him up.
and his hair is the same.
I'm looking up Good Burger 2 cast.
Nolan, his hair is the exact same as the last movie.
Mm,
That's why his kid is the same hair.
no, I mean when he's offset. The actor, Kel Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, we looked at pictures of him.
He looks fantastic. He looks hot.
Okay,
That's
let's tone
messed
it
up
down
to
a
think
little
about.
bit. Let's dial it back. Could have just
He's
said he's a good-looking guy.
I did say that.
There wasn't any big set piece kinda deal, I guess,
Mm,
in that we had Mondo Burger was a fucking it was a goddamn.
Rainforest Cafe.
That's what I'm saying. It was an oasis. You had to shimmy up the straw. It was amazing. There was a conveyor belt with all the chemicals, and it looked like a whole operation, but this we saw, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 8 people in that whole building or something,
Yeah,
besides, like, extras that were just, like, screaming and running, and that's kind of this movie felt like they didn't have the budget to get a lot of people in, and I really wish they could, because if they tried a little harder, I think this movie coulda gotten a lot further.
I think that's true. I think they spent their money on, okay, we're gonna make sure we get the cast back. We're gonna get some cameos, but set is last priority.
Dude, it was totally on. All the money was blown on that stupid montage of them singing with the goddamn webcam footage.
I feel like they got Andy Samberg a little easier just because with that connection to Saturday Night Live.
This it felt with it being webcam footage. I was like, "What is this COVID?" Like I was disappointed. You couldn't have gotten them on set, gotten them on a green screen.
Well, I think the point was to play off of the Imagine video by Gal Gadot where they recorded it during COVID.
I know, but I don't care. 3 years ago. Also, ooh, my God, Nolan, we've missed the most important part.
Oh my god! Okay, so they're delivering a meal to like some pop star, and they all get into the car to like deliver to her because they think she's cool. And I don't know if she's a real pop star. She sort of looks like what Lizzo but brand friendly. Um,
Yep.
but they get out of the car and they're all walking over to her in slow mo because they just crashed into her concert and they're like, "Hey, we were doing a thing here," and they're all playing. They're playing Little Green Bag, and you see Ed and Dex walking over to them, an obvious homage to like Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino's first movie. What
Dude,
a
we were staring with our jaws wide open for like a minute. We could not believe what we were seeing. There was a Reservoir Dogs reference in Good Burger 2, and it was great.
like just imagine like
Not even like a little bit. It was a long little
it
segment
was a
too.
long segment. Like, just like imagine you're thinking, okay, what movie could we reference in here for this little scene? And you're thinking, okay, well, like, I don't know, we could play some Staying Alive during the scene. That's a classic like scene people have to walking because that's part
Yeah.
of the music video. And then somebody goes, hey, you think they'd like it if we referenced the first Quentin Tarantino movie?
You guys seen Reservoir Dogs? Like, dude, what? God, like an underdog reference would have been a deeper cut. So in this movie, the way that they tricked Ed into like signing over is that there was this lawyer who just like keeps pestering Ed constantly, and then there's just these two goons, and one guy has an upside down peace sign tattooed on his cheek, and they're just pretty funny. They're always matching tracksuits. It's so cute. Um,
It's
but
so cute.
it is, dude. They're so great. Um, but they just trick him into doing it, whatever, really silly. But whenever the goons showed up, I had a fun time. They were just really good characters, and they weren't like overly stupid. They were just like normal people,
Yeah.
and they were just silly,
I think that's a fair thing to say. I
and
mean,
they
it
were
was
so
a
cute.
they were so cute and silly.
I can't wait for the fan art.
I can. What?
Can't wait for the merch, dude. I actually can't wait for the merch. I'm being real about that. I
Yeah.
hope I can buy the little cloth Good Burger hat. I'm gonna wear that shit all the time. I'm gonna be real.
I saw some people wearing Good for Burger outfits for Halloween, so I think there's already some merch out.
I was doing that shit years ago. I'm ahead of the curve. Before it was cool, bro. I had a spatula in school. I was made. Um, God, do we really have music? What do you think about the music in this compared to Good Burger 1?
They have some of the same motifs, especially like that rising tone that's in the first
Singing
one, where it's
ladies.
like the choir. Yeah, the
Boom,
yeah,
boom,
whatever
boom.
that is.
Yeah.
That's back in it. Um, I don't know. It's standard Nickelodeon, just like boop doo doo boop, where it's just nothing notes made
I
to
thought it
just.
was really weak.
Yeah, I mean it's weak. I wasn't expecting it to be good. Little Green Bag adds something to it.
This is
Nice,
true.
but
Um,
nah, not
what do you think
great.
about general cinematography aside from that like shallow depth of field stuff we said?
Hmm.
I really didn't notice any, anything too artsy here.
Nothing too artsy. I like the beginning scenes with all the burgers flying around his face talking. Um, I think I like that one scene where we have the the car crash yet again into the Good Burger restaurant and you see it from the other side. I really like the cinematography in the scene where Dex is overhearing the lawyer and Ed talk and he's cleaning somebody's burger with Windex. But
That's
no,
okay,
nothing.
because he unclogged the shake machine with the toilet plunger.
It's not phenomenal cinematography, but I never thought this doesn't work.
Yeah, it got the job done.
Yeah. that's how cinematography might be done usually on a Nickelodeon set, the only difference being Rango.
Yeah, but Rango, they really had to wrangle that lizard around, and then when they had to mind swap Johnny Depp into it, and then they had to wrangle Johnny Depp with the lizard mind in it, and that was really crazy.
I heard they spent a lot on therapy afterwards.
Yeah,
For the gecko, mostly.
yeah, the guy went through it. Do we really have anything else we want to say about this movie?
I think talking for over 30 minutes about Good Burger 2 is more than anyone else will.
That's fair. That's really fair.
How would you rate it? What scale would you give it?
Personally, I think it was a really fun movie. I really enjoyed it. I had fun. It kind of bothered me that the villain was so lazy. Not in that like the motive of it, but just that who it was. It was just sister of, and it was like whatever, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a kids movie. It was a stupid silly. It's gonna be 4 stars for me. I love this movie. I had fun with
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm gonna buy a steel book when it comes out. So you know.
I had to check beforehand before I gave this rating, and I found that I hadn't give a single movie that came out in 2023 a 5-star. This movie deserves that spot. God, I mean, it
Dude,
was just really funny.
you saw Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon, and you went Good
Good
Burger
Burger
too.
2. The thing, I can point towards things I would have changed in Oppenheimer and in Killers of the Flower Moon. When it comes to Good Burger 2, I wouldn't have changed anything. I think there's not a single thing I would go, this would make the movie better, because it's just perfect.
I think I would have made Ed gay. Get some woke points in there.
I, okay. I want to hear from y'all. We have a email that you could reach us to on our link tree. I was thinking that for each movie, I put a meter up for woke points. For each woke thing a movie does, we put in a woke point and find out how many it has at the end.
If we get a certain amount, can we get a pizza party?
If we reach 40 woke
Give
points,
me 40 woke points.
40 we get a big skillet cookie.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so excited. We gotta watch the Marvels like twice.
I wouldn't even say the Marvels is like the big woke thing, because it doesn't say like us women have to stick together, or like
You're right. Let's watch Endgame.
Endgame, or the I mean, I guess it's like a cold take to bring up the female Ghostbusters movie, but yeah,
No,
that
that's
one.
valid because she was in it. She was in Good Burger.
Oh, she was.
She was barely in it. She didn't
Yeah,
matter, and I hate her.
one of the
She's
ladies
unfunny,
from
and she ruined that Ghostbusters movie with every other ugly motherfucker that was in it. Except they're not ugly; they're just unfunny.
the one of the Ghostbusters was in this movie at the very end, and it turns out that it's Dex's sister who hates him because he stole all of her money. But then it resolved
Shocker.
at the end, so it's okay.
Yeah, so
Whoa!
whatever.
What did you say?
Shocker. Dex is a bad person. I'm a
Oh,
Dex hater.
what time is it?
11:53.
It's movie news. Uh, we have we have we have a
Sorry.
spoiler that sort of came in from a press release from Invincible that no one was expecting.
Like a spoiler for the show?
No, a spoiler for a different series,
Oh,
for a Marvel series.
how'd it come out?
Okay, so Robert Kirkman was doing an interview about Invincible over a Zoom call, and he's talking about working with Stephen Yeun, who voices Invincible, and he was talking about how he told him that he's now casted as Sentry, a superhero in Marvel. And he said two things. He said, one, it's funny that he can only get roles where he can fly and wears red or yellow and blue. And second, he said, I don't care about spoiling this. I don't get paid by Marvel.
That's fair. That's all right.
Yeah, Stephen Yeun's a good actor. You know him from Nope. He was Juno,
Who?
the guy who got eaten.
The cameraman?
Not the cameraman,
Oh.
the one who had the rodeo. The one who
Oh,
had
Glenn.
childhood trauma.
Yeah, Glenn from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he was also in The Walking Dead, which was another Robert Kirkman show.
Yeah, he got his head smashed in good. Those
Did
effects
he?
were so good.
Was that Negan who did that?
Yeah, dude,
Mm.
he smushed his head in like a pumpkin, and then while he was like still barely alive and his head was like falling apart, he looked over to his wife and he's like, "I will find you." And then Negan went bam and killed him. And like he hit him with the bat again, and when he hit him, he like kicked one foot in the air and was like, "Woo!"
That's so funny.
It
I
was
need
so good. It was so sad though. I love that character.
I need to watch The Walking Dead. I need to read The Walking Dead. The
You don't
writer
need
of
to
it.
watch it that bad. They're a good bitch. Just a lot of filler.
I've heard that. My brother and mother watched the first season, and they stopped because they thought it was horrible. And I'm surprised. I've heard people
I'd
love
look
the
up
first
a
season.
like no filler guide
Okay.
because you can definitely get by with that.
Okay. We have a casting call that you might be interested in.
Hmm.
Uh, so they're making a third Karate Kid movie. Ralph Macchio is returning, and Jackie Chan is returning as the second iteration of Mr. Miyagi.
I don't like Jackie Chan.
Oh, because of what he did to his daughter.
What did he do to his daughter? I just thought he was an asshole on set.
Oh, he's also an asshole to his daughter. He like disowned her, I think, for being a lesbian. Maybe.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he like touched her.
No, I mean this is also not good, but not like that. Um,
All right, I
they're
don't like him still, but yeah.
yeah, Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio are asking people to to basically try out to be the new Karate Kid. So it's basically just the two of them talking together, saying, "Hey, little kids, send us videos of you, little kids."
Hey, come on, come here, boy, come here.
Don't you want to be a karate master?
Do you want a black belt?
um, wow, this is a really bad topic to switch into from that, but
Hmm.
let's go. We have a lot of firings that happened recently.
Firmware.
It was from a lot of different companies, specifically in response to people talking about Palestine. One of the most famous ones who got
Like
fired.
employee would talk about, they get fired.
Yeah, its actors had made posts online about their support of Palestine, and for one reason or another, they have been fired from their roles because of it. The most famous one would be Susan Sarandon, who lost her talent agency. And then we also have Melissa Barrera, who was one of the stars of Scream 6, who was also supposed to be in Scream 7 until she got fired because of talking about Palestine. And then because of what Melissa said, Jenna Ortega, who is well known for the Scream series and then also plays Wednesday on Wednesday, left the show in solidarity.
That's dumb.
I mean, she's been very vocal about it. Also, she said that her schedule on Wednesday just wouldn't have aligned with it anyway.
Okay,
So
so you left because of that, and this is working also. I
the
don't think you're. I'm leaving this show for Palestine.
she didn't make a statement. The thing is that the
Did
day
she say
after.
she's leaving in solidarity at all, or did she just?
No. The thing is that there's a large track record of her talking about it. She left the day after it was announced that the other was fired. There was rumors going around for months that she might not be able to because of Wednesday, but most people see her activism and then the timing and think, okay, there's a connection here.
I wouldn't be shocked. I can see from a big company's perspective, they don't want to touch anything that could remotely get them in hot water. And so from a businessman's point of view, I get that. But from the other side, it's just a person expressing their views and then you're
Mm-hmm.
firing them for that. And like Mark Ruffalo is a huge climate change guy and then flies around in his stupid fucking jet around the world.
Yeah,
But either way,
Leo's the same.
yeah, and they're in movies, big movies, all the same. But just
Mm-hmm.
because this is more of a hot button topic right now, they're getting fired. When let's be real, these projects aren't going to be coming out like for a little bit anyway.
That's true.
That's not fair. That's
Uh,
just being
yeah.
way too. That's not cautious at that point. That's anxious.
Apparently Mahadakal, I'm not familiar with her a lot,
Who?
but I don't know. But she was also going to be fired or removed for one reason or another. But the only reason that that stopped is because Tom Cruise gave a good word in for her and literally just stopped what was going to happen with her firing. So that's, I guess, neat. Tom Cruise has been a strangely cool guy. Like, there's all this stuff about him being in Scientology and like him
Everyone
being
says he's a really sick guy, and he's just like a really like into it dude, totally like devoted to his work, but he's also just like weird.
it's you're allowed to be a very cool, nice, weird man.
Yeah, it can be like that. I mean, let's be real. He hung on to the side of a plane for a stunt,
He
and that's pretty bad shit,
he parachuted off of a falling motorcycle.
dude. That Tom Cruise is like unhinged.
I
He wants
think
to die.
I do think he wants to die. I do think he's looking for like his evil Knievel.
Like if he wants a big like way out, and then he'll be like, everyone will remember me forever because I died doing one of my own stunts, like something like that.
Yes.
I swear to God. And then he's like, I'll just be revived by the great fucking goblin in the sky anyway. It's okay.
Lord Xenu will look upon me favorably.
God, I want to go get a coin from them or something so bad.
It's not worth it. You'll never hear the end of it. Your email
Okay,
gone. Your phone
what
number
if
gone.
instead I dress up as like whatever, the door to door Mormon Jehovah's Witnesses.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I stand outside the bunch of flyers. I buy a bunch of Scientology patches online. I start giving them out for free, very loudly giving them out for free.
That would work. I don't see any
Do you
problems in
think
that.
they'd get mad at me? Do you think they'd
You're
say
spreading the
anything?
word, but also you're not.
But
It's
it's for free. They don't like that.
that's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I'm not sure. I really don't know.
Hmm.
We'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see. Okay. Now You See Me 3. We've talked about this before, right? We know it's in production.
Hmm.
Jesse Eisenberg has gone on an interview saying that he's so excited for this because it's one of the most low stress jobs he's ever done, and he feels like he's at home when he does it. When he's in a Now You See Me movie, he actually says it's the only time he can lower his antidepressant dosage.
Dude, Jesse, dude, check some things out, man. If
I
that's
mean,
like real.
I mean, I'm very happy to learn that he feels safe in a Now You See Me environment. It does seem like everyone there has fun, but Jesse, what's it like on Zombieland? What's going on here, man?
Dude, Bill Murray is handsy.
Dude,
You
I
have
mean,
to
everybody,
stay away.
people have said Bill Murray's an asshole. I've heard a lot of that before.
Don't tell me that.
Dude,
Shut the fuck up. Don't
I mean,
even finish it. I don't care.
there was also allegations against him, and he didn't say no. He just said sorry, I think.
That's all right.
Yeah, he has some issues, but he was also Garfield.
That's what I'm saying. Tale of Two Kitties. I've never seen the first one. I've only ever seen
Mm.
that one.
Oh, this isn't a surprise to you. I just have to add this in because it's another physical media story.
I love
Chris,
that.
Christopher Nolan came out with a quote. Well, obviously this wasn't him saying out of nowhere. He was interviewed about it, but he
Mhm.
said, "If you buy a 4K UHD, it's on your shelf and it's yours. No company is going to break into your house and take it from you." It's the obvious thing where it's like we're now in a time where streaming, if they have full control over something, that means it's very common for your show to be gone. If
Mhm.
your physical media is becoming more and more prevalent and important now that we're thinking it's not.
Yeah, I do understand the aspect of like, oh, just have it all on one device. It's so easy. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. It is convenient, but also let's take Hulu. Hulu's merging with Disney Plus, and soon they're going to be combining. And some Hulu shows, I think majority, but not all, are going to be going over to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those Hulu shows that don't exactly go over either will picked up by other streaming services, or they'll just kind of go to the void. And the problem with that is with a show we both love, like Catch 22, is
Yeah.
that there's no other option to get that show, and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And with something like that, it's just gone after that, and you can't do anything besides pirating. But then even then, pirating is so hard, and you have to go through these like whatever sketchy websites and stuff to actually like what
Mm-hmm.
figure out how to do things because Netflix, HBO, they have like you're recording it and it'll like black out the screen kind of softwares. And it's people have to do that just to be able to watch a movie when they want to, and that's really fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm. Um, I'm really happy that for at least from the most part, Warner Brothers, one of the only good things they do. Warner Brothers, I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm wrong. I was gonna say Warner Brothers pretty much puts everything they do digitally onto physical media. I just remembered Close Enough. No, they don't.
Yep,
Uh, but
that's
uh,
HBO.
huh?
That's HBO.
HBO made Close Enough?
Yeah.
Weird, because HBO also made Watchmen, and I have that on DVD.
There are some shows like I have the whatever the Adventure Time Distant Lands show on DVD,
Mm,
and I also have Catch 22, but it's like a Australian version.
I think
Um,
I, I
whatever.
think I think there's a difference between HBO and HBO Max Original. That might be it. I don't know. Maybe it's
Well,
just
yeah. Well, an HBO Max original is HBO Max is the streaming service, which is now Max, and then HBO
Max.
was just the channel.
Yeah.
And then when they do HBO originals, they just have full licensing to be able to send them to like off to be made into discs and stuff. But I don't know if they
Mm,
always do it if the show's just like not popular.
okay. Okay. I'd at least make one copy and I'd put it like in the Emmy Museum or something. Hey, do you
Dude,
want this
you want
one
to learn
copy, guys?
the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack won a Grammy that
Y-
year because
Dude,
of how good it was.
Oh Brother Where Art Thou was #1 in the charts. Dude, yeah, that people loved that album
Because it's good.
because it was really good. Yeah. Holdovers news.
Oh.
Why don't you Holdovers has gotten incredible reviews so far.
I haven't looked at anything at it.
Okay. Well, it's releasing on digital in 2 days on
Ooh.
the 28th, which is
Ooh.
really soon.
What is digital? What streaming?
It'll be just like on demand.
Okay.
On demand, and then it was, I think, Focus Features. They don't have a consistent distributor, so I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
just go to whichever one's the bidder. And that might be Max, might be Hulu. We'll see.
Probably Max.
I don't know. It would be the same ones that did Baby Driver. I don't know what Baby Driver's on.
Max.
Okay, then it would go to Max. Um, that movie is getting consistently good reviews. It's its fourth weekend on a limited screen release, and it's still #7 and putting in a good amount of money, which is, I think it's a testament to how people like would enjoy this movie if it came out more. They should have gone for a much more holiday release date, but I think they're just trying to really go in on digital. They're gonna have it in theaters during the holidays still, and I might catch it again because of that. Um, so if you haven't seen The Holdovers, it might be the best holiday film that'll come out this year. I recommend seeing it.
Have you personally been seeing a lot of like movie trailers and stuff?
I
Like it's
mean,
just
yeah.
ads, I mean?
Oh, like on what?
Just like whatever Instagram, social media, websites, YouTube, whatever.
I've seen more advertising for movies. I think now that the strikes are over,
Oh, that's true
we're
actually.
seeing PR and advertising wake up from their tombs, go, crap, we have a job.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I was thinking like, man, I haven't seen like a movie trailer in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I just keep watching the every night before I go to bed. I watch the Aquaman 2 trailer.
Wow. I bet you do.
I'm kind of hyped.
Every time I look at the poster, I'm so disappointed that that other guy isn't the babe. Wait, babe. You know what I mean?
You're sad that Patrick, I forgot his last name, isn't Will Arnett.
Yes. I want it to be Will Arnett so bad.
You want Will Arnett to be Ocean Master?
Yes.
That's
Dude,
not a horrible casting.
that'd be so good.
That would be a good casting.
I
We
think
could,
Will Arnett, he could have acting chops in there.
you know what? I'll talk to Gunn about it.
Really?
I'll see
Dude,
what we can do.
do you think he could, like, set us up on, like, a date?
He's
Or
married.
God, he's probably not even into me. Don't
He's
just
married.
forget it.
He's
But what other news do you have?
he's married to a hot woman who he puts in all of his movies.
Not for
Uh,
long.
um, you are going to love this man. Okay, so Carl Rinch, he's a director.
Yeah.
He was supposed to make a sci-fi series for Netflix,
Yeah.
and he was given $55 million to do it. Okay.
Okay. Good budget.
Yeah, decent budget.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of making a single episode, he took $11 million of that money and bet it in a casino.
Did he win?
He won $27 million back.
Woo!
So you're thinking, man, this has got to be a really good show then, now that we got a bigger budget, right?
Yeah.
He spent it all on cars.
Shit.
He didn't make a single thing, and he's
Well, is that like is that will he get punished for that, or is that just like
yes,
Netflix's fault?
absolutely.
Oh,
He's absolutely gonna get punished for this.
I mean, like, legally.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure he will.
what crime
He's
would that be?
fraud,
Oh,
embezzlement.
yeah, those are them. He'll go to a cushy prison though. Those
Yeah,
are like baby crimes.
yeah, those are baby crimes, but like,
And
how
he's got like
funny.
27 million when he gets out.
Like, cause like Netflix just keeps throwing money at new shows that don't mean anything,
Netflix
and
just keeps throwing money,
yeah,
dude.
and this guy was like, I can live probably the best 5 years of my life.
That's really fair. Netflix calls up with, "Oh, I'm totally shooting that movie." Oh, dude, great. Action. All right, okay. I'll see you later. I gotta go.
The only credit he had before this was 47 Ronin, which was a movie where Keanu Reeves was a samurai, and it currently has a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that sounds cool. That's disappointing.
One last movie news.
Hmm.
The Simpsons movie 2 is in the works.
Spider Pig sequel? Dude, I can't wait. If they don't have a Spider Pig reference, I'm gonna kill myself. If they don't have a Bark Dick scene, I'm gonna kill myself.
Simpsons hasn't really made huge strides since the first movie. It hasn't like gone through like any sort of renaissance. I've heard
Since
that
like
this newest season has been better than the last few though.
I think since streaming has taken over TV, shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy and all those have just really lost their steam because their audience isn't sitting there watching the
Mm,
TV at night anymore.
I think that's fair because like that was totally just like what you could plan like a meal around. Like, okay, when I'm at the table with my family, we'll turn on The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's always on every night, whatever. It's there. Oh, cool. 9:30, King of the Hill, sick, awesome. But like, no one's. I know a lot more people that don't have cable than people that do.
That's fair. I mean, is there even like a market for episodic TV shows now that we have streaming where everything
Well,
sort of is bingeable?
well, for sure. I mean, like they manufacture that in like Loki season 2 has like weekly releases kind of stuff or had.
I
Um,
I think so, but we're definitely getting a full narrative plot. We don't really have anything where it's like, okay, here's today's wacky adventure and then it goes back to normal.
oh, you mean like a sitcom?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't think that sitcoms can really exist, at least right now, unless there's a really good new idea
Mm.
or in like just a kid's environment, because that's
Yeah.
like all Nickelodeon shows, Disney shows, whatever. That's what they are.
We
Um,
had some good shows come out of streaming or at least excel in streaming that were episodic, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and What We Do in the
Mhm.
Shadows.
Yeah.
But
But they get cut off because they're at the end of the day, they look at it and they go, "Oh, it's just some streaming show," and then they cut it.
yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine finished pretty well.
Yeah, besides that was good.
Yeah, but I do think no, yeah, I think you're right. Episodic shows are much more likely to get cut.
Mhm. Like,
Inside Job.
it not Inside Job. I was gonna say Fuller House.
Yeah,
Dude.
Fuller House sucked.
So before we finish this episode off, I just want to say thanks Zencastr for sponsoring this episode. You can click our referral link in the description of this podcast episode. You get 30% off your first month of Zencastr. Thank you, Zencastr, for supporting us and letting us make this podcast possible. Thank you guys for listening to WAM. I'm Nick.
What do I say? Oh, I'm Nolan.
How do I end it? How do I? Fuck.
Wham.
Bye.